this is Tiffany with Tiffany's Nail Babes, and I am here today to show you how to properly reseal your color street so you can use it for future use. So one thing that you do need to note is that Color Street, the company itself, does not guarantee any strip that has been opened and resealed because they cannot control the environment or how you are resealing them. But as a stylist, I know that if you reseal them airtight and properly, you'll be able to use them in the future. So I'm going to show you how to do that and tell you how to store them for future use. So the first thing you're going to need is the original plastic sleeve that your color street came in. It's super important that you use this and not a Ziploc bag or any other plastic. This is a super high quality plastic and it is meant to be sealed airtight. The second thing you are going to need is a hair straightener. Any hair straightener will do. You don't need one specifically for sealing your sets. I just happen to have this extra mini one laying around, so I keep it with my stuff. But your original hair straightener will work fine and it will not be damaged by this bag. I've used my Chi on this bag before without any worries. So any hair straightener you have lying around will be perfect. And then second off, just as an easy little tip, not necessary, but I'm going to show you how much easier it is to get the sets back in the bag, is going to be 2 nail files. Any nail files will work. So I'm going to move you guys down really quick and show you how to get the sets back in the bag easily, because if you are like me, you use only 5 strips for a mani, so you have a whole bunch left over. So what I'm going to do is I am going to lay one of my nails or my nail files down, and then I'm going to place, actually I like to do it this way, I'm going to place the nail strips on top. Okay, so just kind of line them up a little bit, and then I'm going to nail the other nail file right on top. So this way I can easily pick up my sets. I like to kind of, make them nice and straight so they'll go back in the bag. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to open, the bag and stick the 2 nail files through the top, just like that. Slide them down easily. And then you can pull out your strips. So super simple, right? Get you guys straight again. Okay, so super simple. You have your strips now back in the bag. I like to give it a little shake just so they go all the way down to the bottom. You want to make sure that you have a good enough amount up here to seal. This one, I'm actually going to need to pop off a strip. It was the whole thing, but this is my second time resealing this bag, so I'm going to take that out and then I can just put that right back in there. Okay, so I have all my strips in here nicely. The very next step is to make sure that you get all the air out of the bag. Okay, this is super important. If you were to just reseal it right here, there would be air bubbles stuck in here and that can dry out the strips, so they won't be good for future use. So we're going to do airtight with no air in the bag. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my 2 fingers like this and I'm going to just pull them up. Okay, so I'm pushing the air out of the bag. And you might have to do that a few times until you feel that there's no air in the bag. So you can kind of feel the bag, make sure there's no air. And then I'm going to take my hair straightener that I've had heating up. Okay, and this is why you want nice and plenty of room so you don't burn yourself holding it airtight. And I'm going to hold it on here for about 4 seconds when it's been nice and tight. Okay, you don't really need any longer. That's plenty of time. And then this is what the top of your bag is going to look like. Okay, so you can make sure you want to give it a second before you touch it or you'll burn yourself, so don't do that. But if you can go like this with your bag and you don't see any openings in the top, then you have an airtight sealed bag, and this will last for about 6 months left just at room temperature. Okay, so if you just put it in a box somewhere, you probably got about 6 months before this will start to not be good anymore. Now, what I personally do is I store my leftover strips in a Ziploc bag, so my resealed strips in a Ziploc bag, and then I put that Ziploc bag in my freezer. Guys, I have open strips that have been resealed properly this way that are 2 years old and have been sitting in my freezer, and they have gone on just like butter. Like perfect application, excellent way to go. I've also opened ones that were not resealed properly that I used a food saver, like one of those battery operated food savers on, that didn't seal really well either. And they were dried out. So you want to invest in a like little hair straightener. You can find these on Amazon for about 10 bucks. Okay, so if you just type in mini hair straightener on Amazon, you can get one for about 10 bucks. It is worth it to not waste all of those extra Color Street sets. Some people will tell you that you can use an iron or you can use those food savers. And I'm gonna tell you right now, I've had several sets that I did a trial with that did not last as long. So the best way to reseal them is to put them back in the original sleeve, push the air out, heat seal it with a hair straightener, and then store it in a Ziploc bag in your freezer for future use. You just need to make sure that you take them out at least 15 minutes so they can come up to room temperature before you try to apply them again. Okay, so I hope that you learned something. If you did and you enjoy all these helpful tips and tricks, you can like and subscribe to my page, Tiffany's Nail Babes. And I will see you guys in the future with some more tips and tricks.